Yo, you guys, this is Blacklist of the Abyss, and you're watching my review for World Trigger Chapter 127. Alright, and this chapter starts off kind of just where the last one left off. Yotaro is using Raiji Maru's nose as a way to search for Hughes, just like we thought. Jean is going after him. He says something here about how it was a low probability future that Yotaro was actually going to leave and go after Hughes. So I'm guessing that tells him that gives him a little more insight as to what future, what timeline, or what potential future they're going to end up with. So he might be able to, once he gets to Yotaro, he might be able to actually give more information to Border HQ about what's going to end up happening. All right. But while he goes after Yotaro, he leaves everything else to the attackers, dealing with Gallipoli and everything. Nina Mia's squad, Kako squad, they're doing their thing, beating all these Trion soldiers and crap. Yo, I just love these two teams. I love Kako squad. I love Nina Mia's squad. They're just so great. Um, Reiji and Arafune and them, they showed up as well. Um, there was a mention here about Midorikawa's team. I don't think have we seen the people in his team yet? I don't think we have. But he said that his team is away right now and they'll be back in a couple days. So I'm assuming we'll meet them then. Um, but yeah, I'm looking forward to that. So all these border people who are good and cool, but sorry, I have them aren't even there at the moment. You know, I'm looking forward to meeting some new people. Uh, but yeah, after that, Nina Mia, he starts laying out plans for everybody and what they're gonna do, and they're gonna end up meeting up with Yosuke and Miwa. That's the end goal. But he's just laying out plans with snipers and telling them half of them to go here, half of them to stay there, and just laying out plans for how exactly they're gonna accomplish this little side mission of theirs, getting the Yosuke and Miwa. All right. Now, Regi and Yomi, they're trying to deal with this because now we got all these people heading to. There's no way that one guy, that one neighbor, is going to be able to defeat Yosuke and Miwa and Nina Mia squad and Kako squad and Reiji and Arafune and all these snipers and all these people, Midorikawa, all these people. There's just no way. This guy is just out of his league. Okay, so Reiki and Yomi are trying to handle them. They're summoning more dogs, and then Yomi actually takes manual control over one of the Idris. Okay, so that's going to be interesting, seeing because the Trion soldiers act on their own, kind of autonomously. They have their orders, but they're acting kind of autonomously. But now it's going to be interesting to see how how the one acts when it's under the direct control of a neighbor. That's going to be interesting, or a person in general. So that's going to be interesting to see. But the rest of the chapter was just focused on Gatlin and Rata. They ended up running into Tachikawa and Konami and Murakami, right? And they, this was cool. This was smart on their part. They're meaning Border. They picked. They're meaning Gatlin and Rata. Gatlin and Rata picked up multiple Trion readings. All right, they picked up multiple Trion readings in the room, and they assumed that they were all traps. But they didn't know about Cosmo having a trigger that lets him turn invisible. They didn't know that Meiden had technology like that. So they assume they're all traps. Then Cosmo comes out of nowhere and cuts Gatlin's arm off. that was smart on their part. That was a good strategy. That was good on their part. All right. Um, and dialogue, through the dialogue that followed and led up to it, Gatlin was able to figure out that, wait a second, these four people know exactly what we're planning. They know exactly what we're aiming for, what we're trying to do. They know what our triggers are. How did they know all of this? How do they have all this intel? That doesn't make sense. We know it's Gene. We know that Gene's foresight and his side trigger and everything, that's what allows them to know this information. But he doesn't know that. So I'm trying to think of whether or not this may have just been a way of developing him as a smart person who's able to realize things like this and try to act in a cautious manner in order to increase the success, the potential of success for the mission. This could just be a way of developing him as just a smart person. Um, I don't. That's what I'm assuming it is. I don't think it's going to end up being something bigger than that, where he ends up meeting up with Gene somehow and confronting him and realizing that no, that's what his side effect is, and then he report and or he could figure out what that is actually, and then report that information back to the appropriate people. He it could that could happen, but I think it's more so just them developing it. I say them; it's one person, Daisuke Ashihara. Well, editors too, but Daisuke Ashihara mostly. I think it's just him trying to develop Gatlin as an intelligent person who can analyze the situation well. Um, but yeah, after that, Gatlin and Rata, they activate the triggers that they have on their backs. Now, Rata, it's like he releases like these little Treon spheres that have rings around them. They look like miniature Saturns, Saturn and its ring, it looks like they look like little mini planets just floating around, just planets made of Treon. I don't know. I have no idea what they can do. Maybe they're explosives. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe they're like maybe they shoot lasers or something. Like if anyone follows the manga slash anime Freezing, they know the character Elizabeth. I actually reviewed the second season of the Freezing anime, but they know that Elizabeth, she has these little satellite things that can just shoot lasers. Maybe they have a similar function to that. I don't really know. He's not doing anything with them yet. They're just sitting there. So I don't know. Maybe they function more like those black orbs from Naruto that the Sage of the Six Paths has. Then in Madara and Naruto and them, maybe they act like that. I don't know. I just have no idea what this could be. But Gatlin, on the other hand, the things he has are more straightforward. He has these robotic arms coming out of that trigger on his back, like spider arms, kind of. He looks like Doctor Octopus, kind of, except they're spider legs, instead. But Konami says here that it looks like Reiji's full arms. All right, Reiji's full arms has been name dropped before. When I don't remember what happened. I think it was after the initial after Creator neighbor invasion, and Reiji got defeated by one of the neighbors. Okay, and Yotaro was upset. He was saying, Reiji wouldn't have lost if he had used full arms, and Reiji was trying to calm him down and stuff. So full arms has been mentioned before, but we've never actually seen it. All right, at least I don't think we have. We haven't actually seen it before. So this is, if Konami says this looks like Reiji's full arms, and this is the closest we've gotten to seeing Reiji's full arms, then it makes you think, how does Reiji grow all these arms out of his back? Like, are they just all made of Treon? Is it some special trigger? Like what? No, it can't be a special trigger because it's a technique. Oh well. Sooner or later we'll figure out what full arms is. But now I'm just trying to think. I wonder how Gatlin's going to use it, because it can't just be as simple as, it can't be that simple. They have to like extend or something, like wrap around people and like restrict their movement. Something. It has to be something, right? So I'm trying to think if maybe it would be interesting if Gatlin and Reiji both use the similar technique in different ways, but then maybe Reiji uses it in order to combat Gatlin because Gatlin's retreating or something and meets up with Reiji, and then maybe the two of them see the different ways that they use their different techniques and then use each other as a way to grow themselves. That could be interesting. All right, but yeah, I'm hoping it's more than just him like going like this. Hopefully, like they extend or something, like just protection for his back or something, But actually, that's not all he does, though. Oh, maybe it is. Maybe it is because his arm got cut off by Kazuma. He replaces it with a gun. Like he has these things in his back too. Like both Rata and Gatlin, and probably the others too. As a matter of fact, yeah. Freaking Wen, she got that smoke screen from her back. They have these little little white things, like toothpick things, they're really small, like white, bright, like Treon sticks or something, and they all just like become these different things. Wen had one, and it became a smoke screen, and then Rata had like all of them come out. They were all those little like flying Saturn planet things, and now Gatlin's using one. It becomes a gun that's attached to his arm, so now he has a gun arm. So I'm interested to learn more about this technology specifically and how it works. Because they have to be preset. They can't just be whatever you want it to be. It's not like if it's not a freaking Green Lantern ring. It can't just become what you want it to be. They have to be preset or something, like in the Boruto movie, how they have the capsules or whatever, then you can store a specific jutsu in it. It has to be predetermined in some way like that. Okay. But Gatlin has one, and it becomes a gun that's attached to his arm, so that maybe the gun is for long distance. So maybe those arms really are for short distance. Maybe they don't extend or anything. Maybe. Um, well, we'll just wait till next week because we'll find out then. We'll find out next week. Um, but yeah, that's the chapter in a nutshell. It was a solid chapter as usual, so I'll give it an 8 out of 10. World Trigger is just a consistently good manga. It's one of the few manga I'm legit caught up to. Like I've been working on catching up to manga. I have. Really, I have. I'm caught up to World Trigger. I'm caught up to Fairy Tail now. I'm caught up to some monthly manga like Gun, Clover, Trinity 7. I'm caught up to Magi. Actually, I think I'm one chapter behind Magi because the new chapter came out not too long ago and I haven't read it yet. But I'm caught up to Magi. I'm caught up to Freezing. I'm caught up to some other things too. I'm about to start trying to catch up to Yamada and the Seven Witches. Though let's be honest, I should probably focus on catching up to Bleach and One Piece and One Punch Man and like weekly Shonen Jump things. Shonen Jump things, not weekly Shonen Jump, because One Punch Man isn't weekly Shonen Jump, but it's in the English weekly Shonen. That's what I mean. The Viz released in English weekly Shonen Jump. That's what I'm talking about. Soma, My Hero Academia. I keep falling behind in manga. Cause my problem is that I follow way too many manga. Back in the day, like a few years ago, I was just really into manga more so than anime. So I just had if you go to it's my anime list, the website, but it's my manga list on my anime list. But you'll see under the reading section. I have like 30 freaking manga there, and I don't read like any of them anymore because I want to. It's just I was back when I started reading them. I was at a point in my life where I just wanted to read a lot of manga. But now I'm at a point where I don't want to read as many as I did before. But now I'm like in the middle of all of them, and I don't want to just drop them off because I'm still interested. So, yeah, I'm trying to like catch up to the monthly ones first because it's easier, then force myself to start catching up to the weekly ones. But now I don't want to kind of want to keep up with all of them. So now when I try to catch up to one, I fall behind in another. So, oh man. So now I'm just trying to catch up to everything. But yeah, I gotta catch up to those things. But that's it for World Trigger. I was gonna say that it's the most consistently good manga that I read, but that's when I start getting into other manga that I read, and I'm not really caught up on any of them, so I can't really say that. The sample size there is really small, so saying World Trigger is the most consistently good manga I read doesn't really mean much. But I'm working on catching up. I am. So yeah, this chapter gets an 8 out of 10, and that's that, you guys. Rate, comment, subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at BlacklistOTA if you want random tweets about manga, anime, superheroes, comic books, or just things that I find to be funny. And wrestling too. And yeah, that's that, you guys. See you guys next time.